Welcome back to PlayStation Corner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite deals across the PSN stores covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. You can find this video here every week, and then on Saturdays we do cover deals that are exclusively under $10 or your local currency. With that though, hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family, and let's get started. So the new deals of the week have begun. Not only do we get the typical sales though, but we also get the Golden Week sale as well, meaning a whole lot of Japanese inspired titles and RPGs. I'm picking a few of my favourites out of each sale, but it's a nice mix with 18 games to cover. Now if I don't tell you otherwise here though, these games, they are all at a new all-time low price, something that I try to focus on here on the channel. A quick thank you then before we do get into this then. Last week we had 300 new subscribers. That is crazy stuff, so thank you all so much. So first up, Dead Cells, the Fatal Seeds bundle, and if you haven't played this one, it is a must buy. On this package, it brings together the base game and all released so far at least DLC. Now at 34% off, it is a steal for what is a genius roguelike. This one though, Castlevania inspired. You're exploring this castle with multiple pathways, and what really delivers in this one for me, it's the variety in its weapons and also the speed of the combat. Now fans of the genre or those curious that haven't played it yet, you need to buy this game. It is one of the best out there. Fighter fans, Samurai Shodown is a fantastic installment of a classic series now for 50% off. It's simpler than most on the combo front, rather focusing on weapon-based combat instead, but it's great stuff as you learn to not only beat down on your opponent, but practice some patience as you wait for that perfect moment to strike. With 16 characters in the base game as well then, and some seriously flashy specials, there's just a whole lot of content here. It is well worth the look. You can also grab the deluxe edition then as well, that includes a season 1 pass. It's about an extra $10 and that eventually will throw in 4 extra DLC characters, but I believe they're not all released at this point. After my weekend with Chivalry 2's beta, then it seemed like the opportune moment to mention Kingdom Come Deliverance. This one's an action RPG released back in 2018 originally, and it all takes place in a medieval kingdom during the Roman Empire. Now after your home is burnt to the ground following this invasion, you're now on a mission of revenge alongside the resistance. It's going for that almost think Elder Scrolls open world style, but the combat is great fun, and I just love the setting in general. A light game here as well for your cash. When you factor in it's 65% off, but the average completion time is 45 hours. The Dark Pictures Anthology entries then are horror experiences that seem to get mixed feelings towards them, but so far we've had 2. I've enjoyed them both, with more to release in the future. The first, Medan, is currently 67% off. It matches the all-time low price and you're basically kidnapped and dragged aboard a ghost ship. But the second one here, it now has a new all-time low price with 40% off, and this one it's called Little Hope. Arguably, for me at least, the stronger installment of the 2, but here you're trapped in a town surrounded by fog. It's creepy stuff and it kind of gives me, those Silent Hill vibes. Just a heads up then as well, you will also see a bundle discounted on the PSN store. If you need both games, do not do this. Grab them separately, it works out cheaper. The only title this week then that includes a free upgrade to PS5, and that is Puyo Tetris 2. I'm a Tetris guy myself, but the first entry of this series actually got me into Puyo as well. And this is some good stuff as you can play both individually or in this kind of crossover mashup. If you played the first entry, this isn't a huge step forward, more think, more the same, but it is still great stuff, and the story mode here is simple but surprisingly entertaining. This game though, it's also a respectable 50% off. I will say though, not exactly a powerhouse to show off the new power of your PS5. Strategy fans, Othercide is incredible and it's currently 60% off. I played this originally on the Switch, but I had to grab it on the PlayStation as well, as it will no doubt benefit from the resolution bump. To be completely transparent here, I grabbed it myself today, but visually played it for a few hours. It for sure does not disappoint with its unique noir-like black and white visuals. This one though, it's an interesting game. Think turn-based combat that works on this unusual kind of timeline system. It's deep stuff, it's complicated, so I will make the suggestion here, go watch a full review first before you sink the cash into it. But I just myself love this futuristic world and kind of sisters who are clones and battling it out in war. NIER AUTOMATA then is here, back on sale, matching the all-time low with 50% off. What better time to talk about this one though than the week we saw the release of NIER Replicant, a game that I'm actually currently working on for review for the channel. It was due this week, but the new Terminator review kind of threw my timing off a little bit, so just give me a few more days. That said though, look, if you've not played this before, it's a must buy, and I mean surely you've seen the buzz around Replicant, so jump in while it's got a discount. And this action RPG, it's just one of the very best out there. It's got this incredible story to tell alongside some brutal battles. Alright, so each week I let you know what I'm grabbing, meaning I can't necessarily, recommend it. Rather, some of you might want to join me for the ride, or at least be able to tell me something about it in the comments below. This week though, I'm grabbing Tokyo GHOUL. Now, I wanted this at release and refused. They were less than kind, so I cancelled that pre-order. Now though, look, I'm happy to jump in with 75% off, but I wouldn't actually go in with higher hopes, or at least I know I won't be. If it can at least capture, the spirit of the series, though, I think I'll be more than okay with that. And it's positioning itself as a survival action game that, that sounds pretty cool. Then my personal favourite RPG of the last few years, it's gotta be Trails of Cold Steel 3. Currently it's 40% off, matching the all-time low price, and this is the story of Rean Schwartz and his work with a school to train the next line of heroes. Good old turn-based combat, but an epic story as well. I just don't think you can go wrong with the Cold Steel line of stories. If you do want to play the first two games as well, I started actually with the third myself, ended up going back to them, but you can grab both of them relatively cheap physically because they're not on sale digitally currently. Race fans, TT Isle of Man ride on the edge too, and I'm a big fan of this racer. Look, it's a little lacking in content, but it is an indie release, and honestly what it lacks there, it makes up for with just intensity. Few racers for me can just match the speed this one has, and it captures the terrifying feeling of just speeding down these streets with an absolute death wish. Capturing though just the legendary race, these bikes, look into it with 50% off, and it's a little overlooked, but definitely deserves a lot more love. So a game you should avoid now then, that's right, avoid. I want to help you not only save your cash, but also avoid bad games. So please, please, please do not buy Balan Wonderworld. It's a broken mess of a game. I reviewed it on Switch Corner, and yeah, just everything about it is just, again, broken. From the fact it made me actually feel physically sick, to its weak platforming, to the weak design, the graphics, the music. It's got a slight discount right now, but do not take this game even if it's offered to you for free. Alright, so a personal favourite now to wash the taste of Balan out of our mouths. This game it is, AI the Somnium Files. It's a modern masterpiece. Not going to be for everyone, but stick with me here. It's a visual novel adventure with a whole lot of gameplay, so think somewhat in the vein of Phoenix Wright, with a much more adult storyline. That story though, it's about a murder that takes place. A victim was stabbed to death, and then their eyes were gouged out. I know, lovely stuff. It's incredible though as you visit crime scenes, invade dreams to solve puzzles, and interrogate the cast to find answers. Here it's matching the all-time low then, with 60% off, and the main story you're easily going to get around 25 hours. Ashen then is an open world action RPG that takes influence from the Souls games, so think brutal difficulty. Not quite at a Dark Souls level though. Expect to hear though a whole lot of combat, passive co-op. Look into a review if you want to know a bit more about that. Do not buy this game for co-op. Crafting, and then the story, it's a tale of taking down evil, nothing more than the usual affair. With 60% off, it's a great deal, and I love the visual style of this one, even though I will say no doubt the visuals, they're gonna be an acquired taste. On the back of that then, talking Souls, Bloodborne is here with 35% off. This is not a new all-time low. In fact, it's a higher price than the lowest we've ever seen. It's the only one on today's list like that. But I mean, look, it's Bloodborne. It's a masterpiece game that deserves everyone's attention. It's also worth knowing it is free for those of you that have a PS Now account. But look, I love the world, and it follows the hunter on this gothic adventure through a Victorian style world. Brutal, but great stuff, and highly recommended. Alright, so the final three games of the video, and I'm going to be starting it with a controversial one. Crysis Remastered is rocking 50% off. It's a new all-time low price, but also a lot of people, they were upset with this port, and I totally get it. It wasn't built on the best build of the game, but I can't deny, look, I still had a blast with it, and I actually played it on PlayStation as well as Switch. If you fancied it though in the past, it is the cheapest it's ever been, so now may be the time to jump on it. So our penultimate game of the week then, and going a little bit weird this week with Buried Stars, but also look, it's just a fantastic game. I don't usually like my visual novel style experiences, but if it throws in mystery and gameplay to the mix, I'm there, and I love this one as you're part of a talent show, but the building collapses around you and now you are trapped. The problem, not only are you obviously surrounded by rubble, but a murder occurred as well, so now you need to get out there and work out just what the hell is going on. It has Cult Hit just written all over it. Not a cheap game honestly, but a first ever sale here with 20% off. The final game of the week then, it's Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package. It's matching its all-time low with 75% off. When you talk about value for money, you just can't beat this package, which includes 10 experiences. That is just crazy. The amount of hours here, it has to be well into the hundreds. And while now the story, honestly, I'm a little bit lost at this point, I still loved the ride, the journey, and I need to revisit them myself as you join Sora's adventure. A must-buy RPG though, and I think it exceeded all expectations when it originally came out. And that's it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to the collection this week, or are you holding onto that cash? Maybe you grabbed something else that wasn't on today's list. Let me know in the comments down below. With that though, like, hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family, and I will see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.